I'm Lindsay. Welcome to this Vinyasa yoga practice. Today we're going to begin in a child's pose. So bring your big toes to touch. Knees can either be wide here, allowing for that opening through your inner thighs, or you can take your knees together for an opening through your lower back. Then start to walk your hands forward, bringing your chest and then your forehead towards the ground. And as you start here, bring some weight into your hands, sending that energy into your finger pads so that your forearms come off the ground. Take a deep inhale here, filling your ribs up with breath. As you exhale, let your forearms soften towards the ground. Let your hips sink towards your heels. And then just begin to notice the rhythm of your breath. As you inhale, your body fills up and expands. As you exhale, your body softens and grounds. Inhale, filling you up, finding space. Exhale, release, and ground. If it's in your practice to set an intention, I invite you to do so. That intention might be a word, something you're working to cultivate in your life, to bring into your life. Perhaps that intention is a person, somebody that you want to send love or energy out to today. Whatever that is for you, bring that intention to the forefront of your mind. Let it rest there. And then begin to connect it to your breath. As you inhale, bring that intention into your physical being, filling your body up. As you exhale, release and soften that intention out. Inhale fills your body up with your intention. Exhale, soften and release that intention out. Take 2 or 3 more rounds here for yourself. As you find that next inhale, begin to bring the weight into your hands and press yourself up. And then we're going to come right into our down dog. So tuck your toes, press your hips up and back. Just begin to walk that dog out, bending one knee, lengthening the opposite knee, and then finding that on the other side. As you walk your dog out, think about spreading your fingers wide, engaging through your index finger and your thumb and all 10 of your finger pads. Let your neck be long. So you think about pressing your heart towards your thighs and reaching your heels towards the ground. And if your heels don't reach the ground, that is okay. I don't think my heels are ever gonna reach the ground. And then go ahead and reach that right leg long. Kicking through that right heel, toning through that right leg. And then bend that knee and open up that hip. Let that heel fall towards your sits bone. Press evenly through both of your hands, continuing to send energy, especially into that left hand. And then inhale, reach that right leg long. And then sweep that foot between your hands, coming into your low lunge. Press down through that right foot. Let your shoulder blades melt down your back. Gaze is towards the ground. Neck is long. And then you're gonna step that left foot to meet your right at the top of your mat, forward fold. Just let everything be heavy here. Give a generous bend in your knees. Let the crown of your head reach towards the ground. You might grab for opposite elbows here or interlace your fingers at the nape of your neck, giving a little shake side to side. Nodding your head, yes and no. And then releasing any grip that you have. And on an inhale, slowly begin to stack your spine. As you stack your spine, take a little sway through your torso, letting this be a massage for your back and neck. Letting your head be that last piece that comes on top. As you find your Tadasana or mountain pose, feet are under your hips. And then start to reach your hands up overhead, interlace your fingers at the webbing and release your index finger. Just begin to willow out your spine here. So simply taking organic movements that feel good, stretching side to side, taking big circles with your torso. And just continue to think about letting your breath release, so concentrating on those exhales. And then we're going to come through center here, reaching your hands towards the ceiling, but letting your shoulder blades melt down your back. Engage through your thighs here. Take an inhale to prepare. As you exhale, come up and over to the right. Rooting through the outside edge of that left foot as you roll that left shoulder back and lift your gaze. Inhale brings you center. Exhale, take it over to the left. Root through the outside edge of that right foot. Roll that right shoulder back. Lift your gaze. Inhale brings you center. Release that grip of your hands. And as you exhale, find your heart opener, your mini back bend here, reaching your heart towards the ceiling, widening your collarbones, taking that goalpost in your arms to just give a bit more space in your shoulders. Inhale, bring your hands up through center. Exhale, take it down through your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, find length in your spine, ironing out your back. Exhale, plant your hands, step your right foot back, and then your left coming into that high plank, shoulders over wrists, toning through your belly. As you exhale, press it up and back, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. As you take that next inhale, reach that left leg long, kick through that left heel, all 5 toes point down. And then go ahead, open up that hip, let your heel fall towards your sits bone. Think about pressing evenly into both your hands, so focusing on that right hand this time. Inhale, reach that left leg long. Exhale, sweep that foot between your hands, finding that lunge. So again, pressing down into that left foot, sliding your shoulder blades down your back. Neck is long, gaze is at the ground. And then step that right foot to meet your left, forward fold. And we're just gonna come into 3 rounds of halfway lifts here. So as you inhale, bring your hands to your shins and iron out your spine. Let your shoulder blades melt onto your back, neck is long. And think about moving your sits bones in opposite directions, giving a little bit more space and stretch into your hamstrings. As you exhale, forward fold. And just take 2 more of those, following your own breath. Inhale, come into that halfway lift. Lengthen and find space. Exhale, soften and surrender as you fold. 1 more. This time as you inhale, reach your hands up and out, overhead, high prayer, gaze lifts. Exhale, hands through heart center. palms shine forward. And then take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers at the webbing, and roll your shoulders up and down your back, and then start to reach your fist even further behind you. You might find that your elbows totally lengthen out. Maybe you keep a slight bend in them here. So just play with how that feels, keeping that bend or lengthening them out. Micro bend in your knees. Use that fist to reach back and then lift your heart, lift your gaze. Inhale here, exhale, send it into your forward fold. Let that fist fall in front of you. And if this is really hard on your elbows, wrists, or shoulders, always feel free to just let that grip go and let your hands come down to the ground. If this is feeling okay in your body, take another deep inhale. As you exhale, release your hands down. Inhale, give yourself that halfway lift, lengthen it out. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, left foot, then right foot, high plank. So always option to press right to that down dog, or maybe you drop your knees down and come to your belly. Think about sending your elbows back as you slowly lower your chest down. As you inhale, cobra pose, tops of your feet press down, collarbones wide, shoulder blades melt down your back, gaze is just in front of you. Exhale, heart releases down, tuck those toes, and use your knees to help press back up. Find that high plank, and take your downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. As you inhale, reach that right leg long, down dog kick. Exhale, sweep that foot between your hands, finding your lunge. From here, drop that left knee down, and then bring your arms up either to the top of that right thigh, or you can sweep your hands overhead. Really press down into that right foot so that you get this lift up through your spine. So that right hip is rolling back and that left hip is rolling forward. So your legs are really working here. Fingertips reach, shoulder blades soften. Inhale here. As you exhale, goalpost your arms. Take that back bend, that heart opener. You might place an imaginary string at your breastbone, giving a little lift up through that center line of your body. Inhale, bring your hands up overhead. Keep that engagement through your legs so much that it's going to send you up and back, coming into your half splits. So think about really nestling down through that right heel and rolling that right hip back as you think about lengthening your spine and sending the crown of your head up. Flex through those toes. And then you might find a little bit of movement here, rolling out that ankle, giving a stretch to the top of that right foot. And then let that leg come to stillness. Continue to find that length through your spine, and then hinge any amount forward, bringing your heart towards the ground. You're going to find that spot where either muscle or bone isn't going to let you move any further. And as you find that spot, then really allow your spine to begin to round. Let your head and neck become heavy. Finding 2 full breaths here. And then start to come out of this fold, and we're going to walk our hands to the outside edge of that right foot, which can start to turn into a little bit of a balancing exercise as well. So you might come to your fingertips here, continue to roll that right hip back, find some length through your spine, flex through those toes. Stay right here, or ground into those left fingertips or that left hand, and reach that right hand up towards the ceiling. Keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale, slowly let it come down. Take that left hand to the other side of your leg, walk it back, tuck through those back toes, find your high plank. So option to take it down, knees, chest, chin, or maybe you lower one long line of energy, send those elbows back, working to have your whole body touch down at the same moment. Tops of your feet come to the mat. Inhale, peel your chest off the ground, gaze just in front of you. Exhale, heart releases down. Tuck through your toes, and then possibly pressing back up the way you came down, one long line of energy, up and back. Downward facing dog, 2 breaths. Your inhale, that left leg reaches long. Exhale, sweep that foot between your hands. Finding your lunge and then taking it into your low lunge, dropping that right knee down. And again, hands can come to the top of that thigh, or maybe you sweep your hands up overhead. Wherever you're at, really think about pressing down into that left foot, finding that engagement through your thighs, that left hip rolling back, that right hip rolling forward. Take that inhale. As you exhale, find your back bend, goal post your arms, lift your heart. Maybe place that string at your breastbone, giving you a little lift towards the ceiling. Inhale, arms reach up. Find that engagement through your legs, send it back, half splits. So again, thinking about nestling down through that left heel, rolling that left hip back as your spine lengthens. And then again, your head is moving almost on this up and out trajectory as your hips reach back. And then just begin to find that movement in your left ankle, flexing your toes, rolling that ankle out. And then finding some stillness here. Taking an inhale. Exhale, start to hinge at your hips, taking it any amount deeper. Continue to roll that left hip back. Again, you're gonna find that space, either bone or muscle doesn't let you move any further, that's okay. Begin to let your spine round, your head and neck to release. Give yourself 2 breaths here. Starting to come out of that fold, walk your hands to the outside edge of that left foot. Again, you might be on fingertips here. That's okay. Keep that rolling back action of that left hip. And then root that left hand, or you can be on those right fingertips. As you reach that left hand up, finding a twist. Keep lengthening your spine. Maybe your gaze lifts. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lower that down. Walk your hands back either side of that left foot, tuck through those back toes. Take your high plank. An option to find that chaturanga this time. So maybe you lower halfway down, hinging at your elbows, pressing through into your up dog as you come to the tops of your feet. And then send it up and back. Downward facing dog. We got 2 breaths here to reset. As you inhale, reach that right leg long. As you exhale, step that foot to the inside of your right hand and root that left foot as you rise for your warrior 1. As you come up, you might walk that right leg out a little bit wider, just giving a bit more space for your hips. And then think about rooting through the outside edge of that left foot. As you roll that right hip back, you roll that left hip forward, lengthen your tailbone, knit your core together, and then reach your hands up overhead. Inhale here. As you exhale, release your hands behind your back. Find that interlace of your hands. Lengthen your right leg. Open your heart. Inhale, find space. Exhale, bend into that right knee. Send it into your humble warrior. If you find that your gaze is at the ground, see if you can allow that gaze to come to your navel so your neck can really release here. Continue to root through the outside edge of that left foot. Tone through your belly. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, release your hands down and then walk yourself to your wide-legged forward fold. So toes might be a little bit in here. Let the crown of your head come towards the ground. Let your torso be heavy. And then taking this into our Skandasana or side lunge flow. Find that inhale, bring your torso parallel to the ground. And as you exhale, start to bend into that left knee. Keep that right knee long. Hips come over to the left. Inhale, bring yourself center. Exhale, take it over to the right. And just continue here following your own breath, connecting that to your movement. You might let those toes reach up towards the ceiling. You can always keep that foot rooted down. Give yourself about 3 more breaths here. And then coming through center, let your torso be heavy once more. Grab for what's accessible, mat, calves, ankles. Take 2 breaths here, using whatever you're gripping, wherever you're finding that grip, to pull your torso towards your thighs as your head and neck releases. As you find that next inhale, bring your hands down to the ground. Find that halfway lift. As you exhale, hands walk either side of that right foot. And then we're gonna come up into our high lunge. As you inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. We're gonna keep that right knee over our right ankle. You might find a little bend in that back knee as you allow your shoulders to come over your hips. As you find that engagement and lift through your thighs. Letting your hands sweep up overhead, fingers reach, shoulders up. Inhale here. Exhale, we're taking our T-twist. Arms are coming parallel to the ground. Reach through that right hand. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. And as you find that next inhale, we're spiraling open, warrior 2. Take those adjustments you need to find your grounding here. Thinking about dropping down through that back hip, lifting through that front hip. Rolling that right knee out towards our pinky toe. Fingertips reach in opposite directions as your shoulder blades soften. Inhale, reach that right hand forward. Exhale, send it back. Reverse warrior. Keep that bend in your right knee. Inhale here. Exhale, spiral it down. Hands either side of that right foot. Step back, high plank. And take your vinyasa. Coming through that cobra, chaturanga. Pressing right to down dog or child's pose. Give yourself 2 breaths here to reset and reconnect to your intention. As you inhale, reach that left leg long, down dog kick. And then sweep that foot to the inside of your left hand. Root down through that back foot as you rise for your warrior 1. Again, you might walk that left leg out a little bit wide, give a bit more space to your hips. Then as you find that, start to think about rolling that left hip back. Rolling that right hip forward, lengthening your tailbone, knitting your core together, and really pressing back through that right leg. Let your arms reach up overhead, shoulder blades soften. Inhale here. Exhale, hands release behind your back. Find that opposite interlace this time. Lengthen that front leg, open your heart, reach that fist back, gaze lifts as you exhale, bend into that left knee, take it down, humble warrior. Rooting through the outside edge of that right foot, toning through your belly, and letting your head and your neck release. Inhale here. Exhale, hands release down and take that walk to your wide-legged forward fold once more. And we're gonna come into a twist here. So let your torso come parallel to the ground. And then take that right hand over to your left leg. And you can really grab anywhere. It can be your thigh, your calf, or the outside edge of your foot. You might play around with that, find out what feels the most secure. And then as you find that, start to reach that left hand up towards the ceiling, tone your belly, draw that right hip back, left hip down. Inhale here. Exhale, take it through center. Let your torso release. And then we'll take that over to the opposite side, starting to take that left hand, thigh, calf, or foot, and then reaching those right fingertips up towards the ceiling, gaze lifts, draw that left hip back, drop that right hip down, lengthen your spine, inhale, exhale, let it all be heavy. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, hands walk either side of that left foot. And then as you inhale, we're rising for our high lunge. So again, take that time, find your feet. Left knee is over left ankle, maybe a little bend in that back knee as your shoulders come over your hips. Let your arms reach up, shoulder blades soften. Inhale here. Exhale, T-twist, arms come parallel. Keep that bend in your front knee. Reach through that left hand. Lengthen through the crown of your head. As you inhale, open it up, warrior two. Take your time, adjust your feet. Left knee is over that left ankle and tracking towards that pinky toe. Think about dropping down through that back hip, lifting through that front hip, and then reaching your hands active in both directions here. Inhale, left fingertips reach. Exhale, send it back. Reverse warrior. Inhale. Exhale, wind it down. Step it back. Take your vinyasa. And we'll meet in a child's pose, taking your big toes to touch, knees wide or knees touching. Let your forearms soften towards the ground. Just noticing where your breath is living at this point in your body. Perhaps you feel it filling up different spaces. Perhaps you notice it moving with a bit more ease. And as you take that next inhale, begin to walk yourself up. And then we'll come to a seat on our mat. And from here, stretch that right leg out long, flex through those right toes. And then take that left foot to the inner thigh. It might be a little wide, it might not come totally in contact with that leg. Keeping that foot a little bit wide just gives a bit more space to your hips if that feels good for you. Flex through those right toes. Take that right hand to the inside of your leg and start to trace that leg as you reach that left hand up towards those right toes. Left bicep is by your ears, and this hand is having a really active stretch here. Use that right hand to help rotate your heart open. Inhale here, and stay for the exhale. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, let this turn passive. Turn your torso over that extended leg. You might grab for the edges of your mat, your shin, your toes. Let your spine round. And find 2 full breaths. As you inhale, slowly begin to come back up through center. And then we're gonna take stargazer's pose. So root that left hand behind you, roll to the shin of that left leg, press your hips up and back, reaching through that right hand. Inhale, exhale, wind it down. And then switch it out. Bring that left leg long. Right foot comes towards that inner thigh, maybe giving a bit more space in your hips here. Flex through those left toes. Take that left hand to your inner leg and just start to trace that leg. Right bicep comes by your ear. Use that connection of your hand to your calf to roll your heart open as those right fingertips really reach. Inhale and exhale. One more inhale. And let this exhale turn it passive. Torso comes over that extended leg. Again, grabbing for what's accessible, sides of your mat, shin or toes. 2 breaths here. Slowly coming back up through center, bringing that left leg with you, and then coming for your staff pose. So extending your legs out long in front of you. You might take a little rock and roll here as you root through your sits bones. Shoulders are over hips, toes flex back towards your knees. Inhale, reach your hands up overhead. As you exhale, take that hinge at your hips. Keep your back long, and then again, notice that spot where your spine wants to start to round. Just let that be a point of awareness, and then allow that to happen. Really give over to the rounding, the heaviness, the release, grabbing for what's accessible again, sides of your mat, calf, toes. As you inhale, feel your lower back expand and stretch with your breath. As you exhale, allow a little bit more surrender, softening. Inhale, finding space, length. Exhale, finding softness and release. As you inhale, begin to roll up. Coming through center and beginning to make your way down to your back. And as you come to your back, let the soles of your feet be on the ground. Let your knees point towards the ceiling. Finding this constructive rest pose. Noticing those points of contact that your body has with the ground. Soles of your feet, hips, shoulders, arms, backs of your hands, base of your skull. these points become even heavier, rooting you to the earth. Allow your muscles to begin to spread and soften. Allow your breath to find its intuitive rhythm. If this feels like a nice place for you to take your Savasana, feel free to stay right here. If you'd like to bring your legs long on your mat, go ahead and do that. And as you come into your final shape, allow yourself to give up and over any sense of effort or doing. Allow yourself these next few moments to simply be and breathe. Slowly begin to find some tiny movements in your fingers, in your toes, inviting a fuller, deeper breath back into your body. Maybe rolling your head side to side or stretching your body out, finding that morning stretch. And then bringing your knees into your belly, giving yourself a little hug in. And letting yourself roll to the right or the left, coming into fetal pose. Taking one more full breath cycle here to remember your intention. And slowly beginning to press yourself up, finding a comfortable seat, allowing your eyes to remain heavy or closed, your body soft. Bringing your hands to heart center. And then up to your third eye center, that place right between your brows. Connecting your heart's desire with your mind's intention. The life, the love, the teacher in me bows to the life, the love, the teacher in each of you. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day.